Howdy. Welcome back to, the myth of Zeraldo, ruler of Dusk HD for the Sega Uwu. Gonna start off here with some, basically the, like, Twilight Beast fighting tutorial. These are kind of weird segments. I don't feel like there's a lot of stuff like this commonly. I mean, like, I'm not saying that they, like, reinvented the wheel because you fight things in an enclosed area, but, like, I don't know. I guess the main thing that seems sort of original to this game is, like, you fight these things and then there's a portal and then you can travel between the portals, but I don't know. It's a neat mechanic. They do a lot of damage. Take a full heart out of you if they hit you. They're screamy. They scream and then they all come back. Which, wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't that be cool if, like, I don't know, you just screamed and people came back to life? Although that probably also backfire pretty hard. Like, I mean, then, like, some dumbass could just, like, go to a graveyard and scream, and then there's just, like, a zombie apocalypse happening. That would be, like, the stupidest lead into a zombie apocalypse situation. I think that would be possible. Anyway, yeah, Midna stops sitting on her ass, and she's like, yeah, you can use this area of effect attack, it makes it all better. So, that's cool. And now, gonna do the, Twilight bugs hunting segment, which is fun, question mark. They're neat, but you end up doing them a lot. It's like, it's okay. They also made them shorter segments in HD. I think in the GameCube and Wii versions, there were like 8 Tears of Light you have to collect, but in this game it's like 6 or less. We'll see in a second here. And I think the image, the like little picture in the text box of this grapes of light here, I think it actually looks different than it used to. Because they were like, you know, this probably doesn't need to be this long. The insects of darkness. I mean, truly, most insects are dark. Well, I mean, some of them are brightly colored, but I feel like most insects are dark, which is kind of annoying, because, I don't know, makes them spookier, I guess? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's starting to get nice out. Fucking finally. I hate the winter, and I campaign against it frequently. But I would say probably the worst part of, when things start getting warmer and, like, the weather gets nice is that the bugs come back. That's probably the worst part of it. You have to be concerned about, like, you know, bugs getting in your fucking house and, like, just, I don't know. You know, bugs are annoying. This is not a hot take. It's about ice cold of a take as you can fucking get. Poor hippie guy sounds all scared. He don't like the bugs. He doesn't want the weather to get nice. I do have to say the effect of Twilight creatures, like when you kill them and they like explode into the little like Twilight pixels, but then also like the red markings on their body float away separately from everything else. I think that's really neat. If I were like smart, I could delve into like why that is. Like, ooh, the biology of the red markings is like whatever, but I'm not really feeling it right now. I don't know what it's been lately, but like my brain is just, like, kind of pudding. But, I mean, that happens to everybody. Sometimes even without a good reason, you just get pudding brain. Mashed potato brain. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say, really, over just, like, hunting bugs. You just go through and chomp them and get the light, and that's pretty much it. I've never understood this purple fog here in this area. Like, why does it appear Cause like there's the section at the beginning where the purple fog is not there and you can navigate the forest normally, and then like the twilight hits and the purple fog is here, and so you would think, oh well, you know, it's like related to the twilight somehow, even though it's not present anywhere else in the game. But but it doesn't go away after you clear out the twilight, I'm pretty sure, because, you know, there's a whole segment with like the monkey with the lantern later. I think it's in this video. You know, it's like, why doesn't it clear out? Why was it not there before? Like, is there just like a season in Farron where this shitty purple fog appears and just doesn't go away for the whole season? That would suck. And like, I guess if you don't have a lantern, you're just fucked and can't get through it. The rising scale of the jumps there. I don't even know how to describe that sound effect. Besides ascending. So, I guess, like, another thing I was thinking about talking about is, like, in terms of being topical, is, how, like, just like the, Pokemon games that were announced, you know, the Gen 4 remakes that we're getting, which is pretty neat, although I'm not entirely sold on the art style of the Sinnoh remakes. Not really talking about Legends, because that's different. I think, like, I mean, I get the art style because it's like just the 3D version of like what the 2D sprites looked like on the DS, which is fine, and like it does kind of look like the Link's Awakening remake, which was cute. I think here I'm just looking for the bird, who is not here, obviously. His name is Trill, okay. But, anyway, I don't know, I'll probably warm up to the Sinnoh remake style, it's not really a giant deal. I guess just really, like, you kind of get, like, used to the remakes of a particular generation, like, fitting the style conventions of, like, the generation it's released in. So, like, you would think that, like, well, I got owned by that bug there. Like, I was expecting the remake's style to match, that of, Sword and Shield, which I think actually look pretty fine. They look okay. But they don't really have to be beholden to that, I guess. Like, I mean, like, Pokemon Legends is, like, kind of its, like, own thing. They're kind of going for something new, so that doesn't seem to... You wouldn't think that needs to be held to, like, the same conventions of it, but... I don't know, I think it's interesting they're, like, breaking the pattern and having the Sinnoh remakes not look the same. But, I don't know. Related to that, I think it would be fun to, like, design a Pokemon game, just because, like, it's easy to, like, think of stuff that you would want to be in a Pokemon game because they're pretty formulaic, and so you just, like, put in the pieces where they fit, and, you know, there's, like, a lot of room for creativity in that while still, like, following the pattern that's been preset since the fucking 90s. And, you know, you can, like, make improvements on the stuff that you wish that they had in there. Obviously, there's, like, infinite possibilities in designing Pokemon, like, you know, Fakemon, which is, you know, a great pastime. For fun for all the family, really. Problem is, though, that, like, well, A, you'd have to invest a lot of time and effort into, like, figuring out how to make a ROM hack or, like, design a game, like, with various programs and shit like that. And, like, the most advanced thing I ever learned to do in, I think it's called Advanced Map, was just, like, change the Pokemon in a particular area. And I still fucked that up somehow, I think. Like, I think when I was, like, 12 or something, I was trying to make, like, a ROM hack of Emerald. Like, I had big ambitions for something. I'm like, everything's going to be catchable, even though, you know, Emerald 386 already existed. But, I think I like, put Bulbasaur or some starter Pokemon on the first route and, like, couldn't catch it because its catch rate was shit, but I didn't know how to fix the catch rate, so I just sort of, like, gave up. I don't know. But also the fact that, like, designing a game for, like, a series that's already established and very successful, and, I mean, you know, given how Nintendo was very, like, protective to, like, a stupid degree of their IPs, where they're, like, shutting down, you know, emulator sites and shit like that. It's like there's not really any money to be made in designing a Pokemon game. Like, you could base something very heavily off of it, but you can't be strictly Pokemon because that's somebody else's IP. And, you know, obviously, something's inherent, like, value or worthiness of being made isn't, like, totally dependent on, you know, how much money you can make out of it, but because we live in capitalist hell world, it kind of dampens it a little bit, because you're like, well, if I'm going to be spending that much time and energy on something, I ought to be making money on it, right? Because otherwise it's, like, taking away my focus from stuff that I, you know, can maybe sustain me financially. Because, like, you know, I mean, being a writer and a creative person myself, like, the biggest value is in just creating something, even if you're the only person that looks at it and enjoys it. But at the same time, it's like, you gotta pay rent, you know, you gotta buy groceries. So, it's kind of impossible to get away from the concern of, like, making money, regardless. So, you know, basically, my point here is that capitalism is terrible and needs to be burned to the ground. And I'm basically angry about it all the time. And I have not been talking about Twilight Princess for, like, 10 minutes. Well, not 10 minutes. I can't... It's harder to, like, do time-based hyperbole when I'm, like, looking at the clock right now, and this video hasn't even been going for much longer than 12 minutes, so, like, whatever. But, yeah, to get back to the game at hand while I'm mowing the grass trying to get some money here, because I fuck up and I don't have enough money to buy the lantern, which I don't know. Or not the lantern, the bottle of oil that he offers you. I forgot the flow, because you'll have fucking plenty of money by the time you finish the Forest Temple, but I forgot that. But yeah, the thing with the Fair and Light Spirit being like, you're the chosen hero, and it's too bad if you don't want to do it, haha. But the whole, like, you turn into a blue-eyed beast thing when you enter the Twilight because it was a sign of the god's power or whatever, which is a weird concept. Oh yeah, his reaction there when you're like, I'll buy it, but you don't have money, and he just, like, freaks out, which... I'm like, dude, calm down, I'm just poor. Fucking you live, like, 20 minutes outside of a farming village. Don't act like you're not used to people being poor. But, like, I think it's weird. It's, like, a weird choice on, like, the goddess's part to, like, be like, okay, this chosen hero guy, he's the guy. Like, capital T, capital G, the guy. And to like, denote this, we're gonna make him turn into a blue-eyed wolf when he interacts with the Twilight. Which shouldn't even be possible to begin with. Because, like, who would be going through the mirror? I don't know. But a friend of mine suggested that it's, like, a goddess assigned Fursona. It's, like, just... touched by the gods means that you're gonna become a wolf or something. I don't know. I thought it was funny. It's funny, get it? Because, like, furries are funny. It's a stupid joke. It's also easier to make jokes about stuff like that when you don't know people that are furries that are perfectly fine, normal people. I don't know. I had a friend that I hadn't talked to in a while, like, since high school, and then me and another friend, like, met up with her, and she just sort of, like, casually brought up that she was a furry, and I was, like, not even phased, and just be like, yeah, that's whatever. That's old hat, it's fine. Sometimes people that are memes on the internet end up being perfectly fine, normal people. Even if you think being a furry is weird. Everybody's gotta be weird about something, honestly. So, Luckily, we have this lovely monkey to lantern away the fog here. Even if she takes a really long time to do it. I'm gonna take a sip break. Like how the monkey just freaks out when an enemy just exists nearby. Like, as if this monkey's never encountered, like, bats or mean plants when, like, the fucking leader of her monkey troop is, like, in a temple full of shit like that. This is a long sequence. I think they might have made it too long. It's like they shortened the bug hunting sections, but not this. I don't know. I guess the bug hunting thing would have been a higher priority for them to shorten just because there's 4 of them. But we made it through. We're out of the purple zone. And now we have no oil. Thanks. I should name this monkey. What's a good name for a monkey that keeps a flower in her hair? Maybe like... I mean, like, Rose would be, like, the most obvious thing, right? Here I am desperately trying to make money. I think I was doing that because I forgot that you just make a shitload of money in all of the temples, because, like, half the chests that you open thinking that they're gonna be, like, a key or a heart piece or something just end up being a shitload of rubies. Like, making money in this game is not fun at all. Perhaps intentionally so, just because they have a magic armor which drains your money constantly. What up, Trill? So he sells lantern oil, bombs, rope, and red potion. Which I don't really use potions or even like the chew jelly very much in this game outside of hero mode. And I am paying him in full because he's a cute little bird and deserves it, and because I fear for what he will do to me if I don't. But yeah, like, you don't really need potions or anything like that unless you're really taking it rough, or you're playing hero mode. And even then, I think during my hero mode playthrough, I didn't even use the potions that much, because I was just, like, really careful. If I'm given any reason at all to be really, like, anxious and careful in a video game, I'm, like, already doing it. Like, I already hoard resources in video games like a stupid person. And so it's like, if your health effectively becomes, like, another resource to be hoarded, I'll do it. Even if it makes things take a lot longer. So, here's... I believe it's supposed to be, like, the previous incarnation of the Hero of Time. I don't know if it's a joke, but I keep hearing people say that it's, like, Wind Waker Link. But I'm not familiar with the Zelda timeline, so I don't know who this is supposed to be. My assumption would be, like, it's the Link from Ocarina of Time. Although that gets complicated because I think canonically he doesn't... Because, like, he's a kid again in Majora's Mask, and he doesn't age up. Like, there's no time jumping forward fuckery in Majora's Mask. I almost said there's no time fuckery in Majora's Mask, and that's just, like, completely not true. But, I meant, like, he doesn't become an adult in Majora's Mask. Like, you do everything Link does in that game is, like, as a kid. Anyway, here's the stabby stab move, which I think is the only required hidden skill in this game. Because that's how you kill Ganon at the end. But, I don't know why you would skip the hidden skills. I think they're neat. Some of them are cooler than others. I can't ever remember the order that you get them in, but I think my favorite is either, like, the backslice or the jump strike, I think it's called. I don't know, I'm a sucker for a jump attack. I feel like in fighting games, I really like dash attacks, and, like, stuff that you can do, like, you jump into them is neat. Not that I really, like, play fighting games. The only one I would say is, like, Smash Brothers, which I don't even think of really in the same terms of fighting games as, like, or as in the same terms as other fighting games. Because, like, if you are talking about a fighting game, my brain defaults to, like, BlazBlue, or, you know, Street Fighter, like, combo-based fighters, and, like, you know, Smash Brothers has combos, but it's not the same thing. Smash Brothers, in my opinion, is a lot more tolerable than any other fighting game. Especially because it doesn't have some stupid convoluted story that doesn't make any sense. Cough, cough, BlazBlue. But yeah, I kind of stopped playing BlazBlue because, for one thing, I played it with mainly just, like, a couple of my friends, and one of them was, like, way better at the game than I was, which kind of got old after a while. Also, just, like, I found BlazBlue kind of stressful after a while, and, like, I feel like you have to do, like, with really heavy combo-based fighters, you have to, like, do homework to be good at the games, which I think is really fucking annoying. Like, I mean, I'm not complaining that you have to, like, practice at a game to get better at it, because that's true of literally everything, but, just, like, oh, here I am trying to fuck with the aiming here, even though I don't think I actually changed anything. I probably should have cut this out, but this video is already pretty short, so whatever. But, like, the fact that, see, the difference between Smash Brothers and other fighting games is that, like, Smash Brothers, the same, like, moves, like, the characters' combos all use, like, the same inputs. Like, you know, for example, in BlazBlue, if you have, like, Noelle, she has, like, a certain combo that you have to press, like, button combination A, and then for, like, Taukaka or whatever, she has, like, the combos, they don't match, is what I'm saying, like, and, like, their big finishing moves have different inputs, versus, like, Smash Brothers, where everybody has an aerial move, like a neutral aerial, everybody has an up aerial, everybody has a dash attack, everybody has smash moves, like, and I mean, like, obviously they do different things, and you have to learn the different flows of attacks to, like, learn combos and shit, but if you press a button, it'll do roughly the same shit every time, you know, it's not like every character has their own specially assigned set of combos that you have to memorize. Like, that's way too much work for a fucking video game, honestly. Like, I mean, it's already enough effort and energy to sit down and practice a game and, like, play against other people that are really good and shit like that. Like, that's already enough work to get really good at a game. I don't need to also memorize, like, 14 different combos and, like, tier lists and shit like that. Like, that's too complicated for a video game. Like, fuck that. So that's why, I mean, like, BlazBlue just kind of got stressful after a while. The music fucks, though. Gotta admit that. The music is really fucking good. There's a giant spoiler. I really haven't been talking much about this video game lately, but... This was kind of a weird video. I might start doing slightly longer videos and just, like, do, like, the entire temple, like, a whole dungeon in one segment, maybe? I don't know. Kind of feeling it out. Because someone pointed out that if I have, like, roughly half-hour-long videos, it's gonna take a lot of videos to get through this game, especially because I'm collecting everything. And not skipping the cutscenes. So, I don't know, maybe I'll start recording it longer. So, anyway, to actually talk about the game for a change, the, goal of this temple is to, collect monkeys, which is a pretty good incentive, in my opinion. Monkeys are cool. Even though these monkeys aren't as fun because they don't have, like, longer tails. I like monkeys with, like, long tails because they're sillier. These monkeys are almost more like chimpanzees, which doesn't, you know, chimpanzees technically aren't monkeys, but I don't know. Basically, they're your ticket to any significant location in this temple, because this temple is a rundown piece of shit with, like, these like, shitty, rickety old britches? Britches. these bridges and like these rotating platforms and long vines you can't swing across unless you're a monkey. I mean, this place is stupid. And there's Ook. Ook is a fun guy. He's got a big old bug on his head. And there's his ass. Congratulations. But here's one of my favorite lines from this game, though. As some Midna commentary here. Has there been a monkey fight? I fucking love that line. Not my favorite line in this game, but I will happily point out my actual favorite line. But on the topic of Midna and her commentary, I feel like they might have added some voice lines for her, because I think a lot of people assume that her like Twilight speak, it's like words that are like reversed or whatever, but it's actually English quotes, like specific sentences, like kind of scrambled and rearranged to sound like a different language. And there's actually a video you can look up of these quotes, but I feel like they might have added a few more for this game, because like when she said monkey fight, it sounded like a different line that I haven't heard before in the original. And here's Uku, the game's best character, conveniently hidden behind Link in this little cutscene here. The game is trying to censor the titty chicken. So yeah, Uku just like forces you to take her. I mean, she speaks politely, but you don't really get a choice. Link's face. He's just like, what the fuck am I looking at here? Yeah, Uku is like a warp device, which is like important in speedruns and shit like that, but I think in normal gameplay you literally never need to use her ever. I don't know. I don't think I've ever really gotten much use out of her, so she's mostly just a creepy titty chicken. And yeah, it's pretty much video winding down, so next time I'll be going into this lovely room up here and start collecting the stamps. I forgot about stamps until recently. But yeah, stamps and heart pieces and keys and monkeys, and it'll be a good time. Goodbye. I love you.